So last night, Trump went 37-0 for his MAGA endorsements. Now, this is crazy, okay? You just don't do this. And this includes the Massey win, which is what most people are talking about. But that's not the most important thing that happened last night. What most importantly happened was all of this combined, all right? It was the biggest. It was the most fun. And the crash outs obviously back that up. But what Trump really showed last night is he's actually reshaping the Republican Party, and he's doing what everybody has wanted him to do, which is weed out the RINOs. Trump continues to do this despite the fact people are like so critical of him on this. Well, the elections are proving you otherwise. The people he's not going after that much right now are not up for election, like John Thune. I saw many people last night being like, well, if Trump would only go after John Thune the same way he went after Massey, what would be the point of that? Thune's still around till 28. He doesn't have his election till 28. Remember, senators are cyclical. They get every 6 years, and they're staggered. So Thune will be up in 28. Right now, Trump would gain nothing from going after Thune. He really doesn't, except for the fact that Thune could sway more votes away from what Trump wants to get done. So, guys, understanding our system, understanding our politics is very important to understanding Trump. Trump wins because he's smart. Trump wins because he understands the system and he knows how to play the game. He doesn't nothing he does is just because he's sold out. None of it's because he's flying by the seat of his pants. It's all calculated, as last night proves. But here's a little clip on last night's wins. I mean, 37-0, 10-0 Pennsylvania, 9-0 Georgia, 5-0 Idaho, 1-0 Oregon. We have obviously Kentucky, Missouri. So Seth Keshel reminds us, as he's the best election expert out there, always keeping up with the registrations nationwide. He had the absolute best content going into the 2024 election. He called everything to the T. He's just there's no one more accurate when it comes to understanding elections than Keshel. And as he reminds us after last night, the X algorithm isn't the real world. Remember that in November. This is very important. That's what's the algorithm feeding us. We're going to get smashed in November. The Democrats are going to win a wave election. All the Massey people are going to crush the Republicans now. Not going to happen, because the real world, the voters, they still love Trump. They still love him. It's just the truth, even though they're trying to convince you they don't. Kentucky, guys, was a massive one last night. So let's talk about this. It's an excellent post breaking down what happened in Kentucky last night. It says, do you understand what quietly happened in Kentucky? Mitch McConnell spent 41 years building the most powerful Republican machine in the Senate. Fact check true. He blocked nominees, killed legislation, outlasted 6 presidents, and bent the entire GOP caucus to his will for 4 decades. And the moment he stepped back, Trump walked in on May 1st, endorsed Andy Barr, offered the only real rival an ambassadorship, and the rival dropped out the same week. Cameron, the man who was supposed to carry McConnell's network forward, entered with a polling lead, raised money, had the name recognition, had a Christian conservative base. Barr had none of that until Trump made a phone call and a diplomatic offer. Cameron finished at 30 and Barr won with 60%. Seat McConnell held since 84 flipped to a Trump loyalist in a single primary night. First open Kentucky Senate seat in 42 years. Now, listen how brilliant this was. This was Trump, the art of the deal. Okay? He got exactly what he wanted, and we got out the Paul Ryan, Mitch McConnell, Bushwing, establishment RINO Republican loyalist who was supposed to replace McConnell, and now we got a true MAGA guy instead. That, my friends, is how you actually win. And Trump proves again, that he knows better than any of these people. And this obviously wasn't talked about as much as Massey last night, but this is bigger than Massey, because ultimately Massey is one of 435 House representatives. Good luck. You can't get anything done. Massey is one of 435. He also, being in the House, there's elections every 2 years. So it's easy to clean up the House. you can clean it out real fast. So Galrain, not a great candidate, but Trump made a statement with Massey. The real Republicans, the establishment, knows this is bigger because Senate seat is for 6 years. He just crushed the RINOs. Why do you think Thune and all the old school Republicans were so mad yesterday? Well, in the same day, Trump beat the McConnell wing right here in Kentucky, took McConnell's old seat with a MAGA guy, and in the same day, he endorsed Paxton, which is going to kick Cornyn out. Two of the most RINO senators who are part of that Bush Party, Uniparty, old school Republican RINO wing, they're both gone now. That, my friends, is a huge win. And as we all know, the Senate, they're the kingmakers. They're the ones who really, really matter. Every single establishment figure watching this tonight told their donors McConnell Network's durable. Every single one assumed the old machine had enough infrastructure to survive his retirement. It didn't survive a single election cycle. Not a scandal, Democrat generational shift, one endorsement, one ambassadorship, 41 years of political infrastructure collapsed in an evening. Trump didn't just win a primary tonight. He erased the last internal friction point inside the Senate Republican caucus without a single floor vote. It's only getting quieter from here. After the midterms, guys, Trump is going to have a much more MAGA Senate, and that's what they're terrified of. They were hoping they could wait Trump out, he leaves, and come 2028, they could retake the party. Trump is just crushing their hopes more and more every day. We're not going back to the Uniparty Republican Party. We're not going back to the RINO Party. It's MAGA now. And what he just did yesterday was shoot across the bow. Like, you guys have no hope. You guys have no hope to get it back. Last night in Georgia, both Supreme Court justices won against Democrats. We had this huge wins right here. They sweep and win the Supreme Court elections. These were not primaries. These were actual elections, and the Republicans won both, so that's huge for Georgia. And as reported here, there's much to unpack from Georgia primaries. I can't get over how much the Trump dynamic has changed. 4 years ago, Trump's handpicked challengers were crushed by Brian Kemp and other Republicans he targeted after 2020. This time, every major GOP contender ran toward Trump, not away from him. And Seth Keshel writes, almost like the 34% approval polls are, just like all polls, wrong. So, guys, you don't trust the polls. They're trying to psyop everybody into believing the Democrats are going to win. South Carolina yesterday finally voted. The House passed the new map. Bye-bye, Jim Clyburn. This will now go to the South Carolina Senate, where it should be passed, and then the governor's going to have to sign it because there's no way he could do this to his base. So Jim Clyburn, one of the most powerful Democrats in the House, is about to go bye-bye. That's going to be beautiful. So much winning yesterday. As Razor Fist writes, remember, guys, Massey lost because only boomers vote in midterms, but Republicans are going to lose in November because ... only boomers vote in midterms. Might seem variance once you wedge your dome and your duodenum. The logic clears right up, I assure you. That's what they keep telling us. We're going to lose in the midterms. Even though the boomers just showed us, they're going to carry it forward. That's what they do. That's what we do. Doherty says, the midterm genius strategist Blair. Let's listen to this clip. This guy he's so good at all this. He's the one who's been putting all this together. Sorry, I was having trouble pausing it. Let me restart here. Anyways, this guy is an election genius. Every race he's put himself into, they're winning. This guy understands what's coming. And listen to what he has to say here about the midterms. This is not as hopeless as they want you to think.
I think they recognize what we've been saying, which it's a very close race for the House. We feel like we have a great opportunity to retain the House and maybe even expand it in some areas. We're going to be playing across a wide swath of the map, not just defending our own incumbents, but playing offense against a lot of their members. And I don't know that they were prepared for that. Obviously, as President Trump, mentioned in his comments in his live press conference a few minutes ago, he knows how to win. We know how to win. We've done this before. And, if we were listening to the conventional wisdom in May of 2024, President Trump would not be sitting in office right now. So we feel the same way now. We know what our task is. We've got about 5 months or so to do it, and we're going to get the job done.
Okay, so Massey.
Do you hear what he said? He said they're going on offense, and that's how you win. You go on offense. You don't have to play defense. They're going to try to take more out. It's going to be a gain. Now, of all the people you guys watch or out there, I got to say, I've probably been one of the most bullish on the midterms, and I continue to be so. I think the map is very strong for us. I don't believe the polls. I think there's so much that's going to happen before the midterms that's going to be very, very good for Trump and the MAGA base. And Democrats, everybody still hates them. And on top of this, we have this guy continually showing us that they're winning. I mean, these primaries matter. They matter. In some ways, they matter more than ever before. Or maybe they matter the same way they always have, and we're just finally paying attention. That might be part of it as well. But the fact is that Trump is cleaning house. And again, I want to go back to the fact of all the people dooming that Trump is just hanging out with rhinos, or we got to get rid of these rhinos. This is exactly what Trump's doing. He's just not doing it the way you guys thought he should do it. He's not doing it as obvious as everybody thinks. And then in the middle time, when he's stuck with them, he works with them because he has to. It's the only way to get stuff done in our system. Trump understands this better than you guys do. And I don't mean everybody in my chat. I mean the people who have just been dooming about all this rhino stuff. Trump understands it better. And I continue to say, look, he is the most successful president we've had in decades. And that's just not even like debatable. He won two general elections against machines with way more money on their side. In the first election especially, he even had Republicans against him, the entire establishment against him. And he won both elections in sweeps. He won the House and the Senate in both elections too. Guys, that just doesn't happen in our modern politics. Trump has changed the game. Now he's coming up on his second midterms. His first midterms, he lost the House, but kept the Senate. In fact, gained in the Senate. And one of the reasons he lost the House is because he didn't have the Republican machine yet. He hadn't taken over the RNC yet. But now MAGA is the Republican Party. And he's proving it in these primaries in a major way. Now, McCarthy, who I'm not a fan of, had something really interesting to say about Trump today. And I wanted to share this because it's really good.
Have up on the board for you the candidates that he has backed and those that have won. And it looks, to be like he is running the tables on this one. How do you score things for him and then overall for the midterms?
Well, the one thing I see is that he's the strongest president in a political party that I've seen in my entire lifetime. It's unheard of that you have a president even stronger than Ronald Reagan was.
Yep.
You look at his ability. He endorses people and they win.
By the way, that statement right there, it's true, and it drives the establishment Republican wing insane. Reagan was their god. He was the one they used constantly to sway the conservative vote, and the fact that Trump has not only just taken that over, but utilized that power that Reagan could have had so much better, drives them crazy.
He has defeated people even by just not endorsing them. You haven't seen this ability before. And just if you take the Republican Party in the last month, the number of victories that he had, you could take all those people that he endorsed. But also when you look at the Virginia Supreme Court, pulling back from where the Democrats want to do gerrymander, from the U.S. Supreme Court decision on minority-majority districts, the Republicans, to keep the House, are in a fundamentally different place than they were a month ago.
Yep.
A month ago, no one gave them an opportunity. Democrats would only have to win 3 seats. They now are going to have to win 10 seats. That is a gigantic shift in such a short amount of time. And then if you look at the resources that the president has raised, we've never seen this imbalance between Republicans and Democrats, 800 million to 200 million.
Do you hear those numbers? That war chest Trump has built, 800 million versus 200 million. That's insane. So guys, if money wins elections, well, the Republicans should win easily. Why is nobody saying that? Because it's not true. Money doesn't win elections. But what money does do is it amplifies your ability to win elections. It helps. And Trump, with the MAGA people, has constantly won being outspent. Constantly. Over and over and over again. Now, with Trump in power, understanding how this all works now, having the base stronger than ever, he's been able to, the first time, this will be the first election with Trump where they have the more money. And I guarantee you they'll have even more for the presidential election in 28. So you already have the underdogs who keep winning despite the fact they're at the money disadvantage, and now they have the money disadvantage too. I mean, the money advantage too. Just wait and see what that does. It's going to, the Democrats are terrified, and they don't want you to know it because they have to pretend for their base that they're going to win this. But they're terrified. This is going to be much different than most people are expecting. And as Trump himself tells us,
every one of them. And we have a great candidate, I believe, in Texas. And I believe the Texas candidate, who's Ken Paxton, I think he'll win. I think probably he'll win very substantially. And I think he'll go on to defeat a very defective candidate, a candidate that believes in 6 genders, and he takes hits at Jesus Christ, and he's wearing a mask 6 months ago, whereas a guy, anybody wearing a mask 6 months ago doesn't get it. And he's a vegan. He's a vegan in Texas, and you can't get elected as a vegan in Texas.
Did you talk to Senate leadership on the Republican?
Every one of them.
does Trump seem worried about going against these Democrats? I really don't think so. Here's more.
I did. They'll be all right with it. They want to win. I know how to win.
Are you worried about voter?
Some of them don't know how to win. I know how to win. I think I've proven that, haven't I?
Are you worried about
Flopping the nuts. They don't know how to win. I know how to win. And that's what we got to keep coming back to, guys, is that Trump ultimately knows how to win more than any of these other people. The influencer crowd, the massy tards, they don't know how to win. They're losers. They're all pathetic losers, and they're never going to win anything. They like to grandstand like they will, like they matter. We just found out last night they don't matter at all. They're all losers. Massey's a total fraud. Like, the whole group is a total fraud. The Democrats are disgusting and crazy people. Like, the only person who's been able to beat this machine, this City of London globalist Davos machine that does own the Republican Party, that does own people like Thomas Massey, that does own the Democrats, he's the only one who's been able to beat them, and he's going to do it again. He's going to do it again. And he just proves it. And amidst all this, with all that primary winning, now he's going back after the Senate. And he posted this today. He says, shockingly, Republicans kept the very important position of parliamentarian in the hands of a woman, Elizabeth McDonough, who was appointed long ago by Barack Hussein Obama and a vicious lunatic as Senator Harry Reid, who ran the Senate for the Democrats with an iron fist. Over years, she's been brutal to Republicans, but not to the Democrats. Why has she not been replaced? Good question. Because they don't want her to be. It's an excuse to not get stuff done. This is the uniparty still in action, thanks to John Thune. There are many fair people who be qualified for that job. Republicans play a very soft game compared to the Democrats, the single biggest disadvantage of politics. Democrats cheat, lie, and steal when it comes to votes and elections, but stick together. But the Republicans allow the McDonald's of the world to stay in power and brutalize us. We need the Save America Act passed. Here it is, the pressure again. And now, likewise, kill the filibuster. Give us everything we don't pass at least one of these two provisions quickly, you'll never see another Republican president again. Democrats will end up with 2 additional states, D.C., Puerto Rico, and all that entails, including 4 senators, many congressmen, many additional electoral votes, and they'll get their dream of a packed U.S. Supreme Court with their favorite number, 21 justices. They'll do this on day one. Trump is using the primary pressure where he just won so significantly to put them all on watch. You guys saw what I did last night. I beat the most popular guy ever, and Massey destroyed him. Took out the frauds in Kentucky, McConnell's old stomping ground, replaced the McConnell seat, cleaned up in Georgia. All these are big establishment RINO strongholds, and Trump just cleaned up last night. They're all on blast. Endorsed Ken Paxton, going to get rid of Cornyn. So Trump's doing it, guys. He's completely remaking the Republican Party. He's getting out all the frauds, and now he's reminding them, look at, do you guys want to keep playing games? Do you guys want to keep doing this? Because I'll keep winning. The base is on my side, and I'm going to destroy you. And guys, for the midterms, I'm feeling better about them every day.